In the last two videos, we've looked at variations of the north-south choke. The first one, making sure that we go really north-south. The second one, what happens when they keep that arm in when we scoop the arm. Inevitably, after I show those two variations, people say, well, what happens if they keep that arm in and you have trouble turning the head? You can't really get one, you can't get really two. We go to option number 3. Just like in the first one, the most important part is about turning that face away. What we're going to do is we're going to make a little shortcut. And I can't emphasize enough how important it is to use that lat muscle to turn the face away. If you scoop the way that you did for the normal north-south, you're going to run into trouble, all right? We are going to slip over the top of that arm and really push the face away. All right, we're going to start with this 45 angle because I think it's one of the most important angles here. If you watch video 1 and video 2, you're going to understand a lot of the dynamics about the head lasso, the fingertips and stuff. But I really want you to see how I turn the face away, all right? So this is really where I want you to focus and watching how my hips slide over the top of this arm. We're going to do it from here, we'll do it from north-south. We're going to try and give you as many angles as we can because I really want you to see how I manipulate this space on the top of his body. So again, just like before, we're starting in that north-south, or excuse me, side control position. I bring that arm over, I sit my hips. Now, in the last video, we were able to scoop this arm and separate it, but good people make that difficult, and I'll feel right here his elbow is just too tight. When I feel his elbow too tight, I know that I can't bring my hips in far enough to scoop it because he's actively defending with this. Okay, that's fine. I'm still going to lasso the head, and I'm still going to put pressure into that arm. I know that it's not going to move. He's got too much bone support. He's too smart for that. Now here's the mistake, all right? A lot of people will start to turn this way. And you can see that when I turned that way, the disengagement from my hips that he enforced that distance right here buys him the time to just do this. If he turns his head towards the rib cage, a lot of times that's going to allow him to come up. We've got other options. We've got guillotines and stuff. We may look at those later. But the important thing is turning the head. Not about getting north-south here. Turning the head first, okay? So watch how I make that space. I sat in here. I'm here. I'm going to put pressure back, but like I said, I know it's not going to move. I don't want you to come here. What I want you to do is come here. And you can see that I'm coming at an angle over the top of this arm because all that's important is that I keep his head turned. If I dominate his head, I'm going to dominate his body. One more time. Here, here. I'm pushing. I'm trying to get that arm up and over. Now, from here, now I walk my legs north-south. My head's nice and low. My hand is blocking the hip. Just like before. For practice, one hand. For competition or in class or in sparring, you can come here. I prefer to dip to the inside. If this arm starts becoming a problem, I dip to the inside. Head's nice and tight, putting pressure in, and then I squeeze. But for the majority of the time while practicing, if you have your against a non-resisting opponent, you should be able to do it with one arm, let you know that you have good tight positioning. Side control, right? Boom, reverse queso. Oh man, I feel that elbow super tight. I lasso the head, fingertips. I'm still putting pressure like I want that arm, but I'm not going to get it. Watch how I lift my hips and lead with my rib cage. Hand to the floor, nice and tight. Body low and squeeze. Hand to the inside, ear nice and tight pressure and squeeze. Good control, right? Queso, man, elbows tight. Loop that head. Putting pressure into that arm, I can't scoot the arm. Watch how I lift my hips right into that head. Turning my body, making sure that pressure stays heavy. Ear nice and tight, big squeeze, arm on the inside, big squeeze. Cool. Arm over, reverse queso. Loop that head. Man, I can't get my hips up, that's fine, all right? Or I can't get my hips to move the arm. So my hips are gonna slide over it. You still need the pressure. Should be like your power breaking. Boom, right? Right into that chin. Heavy pressure, head down, one, arm over, squeeze. Really high percentage, guys. Make sure that all your north-south chokes and variants are about turning that head. This one, you get a great jump over top of that arm. Make sure you use the space over top. And again, leading with that lat off the balls of your feet, your hips should not be on the floor.